What's up, y'all? P2 Powers back at you with another Let's Quest video. How is everyone doing today? In this episode, we're going to be doing the new quest, Desperate Measures, which is an in-game quest lore-wise and a follow-up to the Desperate Times quest, which I've already covered on this channel if you want to check that video out first. Now, for those of you that care about spoilers, don't watch this unless you've done at least Sliske's Endgame, Curse of the Black Stone, Fate of the Gods, and the aforementioned Desperate Times quest, or at least you know the outcome of those quests. So with all that out of the way, let's get started. And just a warning, at times when I'm talking as stock, I peaked the audio and couldn't correct it for some reason. So if you're wearing headphones, you might not want to have the volume all the way up just in case. Sorry about that. Might as well use the quest portal to get there. We can't just keep sitting here waiting for something to happen. Carapac has stolen the needle right from under us. If only someone had spoken up about his inevitable betrayal and encouraged us to follow a path of peace. Oh, like you did? Oh wait, no you didn't. Sanctimonious as ever, Garlandia. You godless are all alike. Everyone, please, be calm. Sorry, yes, you're right. Now is not the time for infighting. We need to be united. Of course, yes, my apologies. We should save our rage for Carapac, not each other. We need to work out what Carapac's plan is before we can stop him. Saren is right. That needs to be our focus. We know the consequences of his plan. The death of all life on Gielinor. Precisely. Whatever he's doing will kill us all. But the question is, what is he doing? Saren, what can you tell us? Forgive me, my friends. Please talk among yourselves. I must speak to the World Guardian about the situation. P2 Powers, it is good to see you. As you can see, we need to hurry. What's going on? Is it just me or is everyone acting a little off? Ma's gift to me, my aura, it compels them to trust me, to need me. The longer we deliberate, the more bound they are because of it. Just look how they blindly follow whatever I say. Their moods shift in an instant because they cannot bear disagreeing with me. That sounds worrying. I am glad you see the danger. Each member of the council is here because they bring something unique to the table. A different point of view, but now the only viewpoint offered is mine. I am not all-knowing, I am not all-seeing, I am a goddess, yes, but sometimes even gods make mistakes. We are facing the ultimate destruction of all life on Gielinor, possibly of the universe. I am not mortal, I do not fully understand what it means to be mortal, so my voice cannot be the only one to speak for them. But with each day that passes, the stronger they are bound to me. We need to deal with this threat now, before the effect becomes too powerful. What do I need to do? Thank you, P2 Powers, I can always count on you. After Carapac's betrayal, Thok and Karos wanted to track him down. With the Council's permission, I sent them on to Anachronia. They've been sending regular reports, and it sounds like Karos has discovered Carapac's hideout, but needs some help. I know of none other than yourself that I could trust to help them, and I respect you two and I suspect you two might have your own reasons for wanting to find Carapac. Let's see. I want to know his plan. A worthy goal. If we can understand what he's up to, we'll be better placed to stop him. Or, if he's right, assist him. You should head to Anachronia and speak with Mr. Mordo there. Mr. Mordo has been keeping an eye on the island for us and will likely know where Karos and Thok are. Good luck, World Guardian. Gielinor's fate is in your hands. Hello there, P2 Powers. How can I help you? Saren says you might know where Karos and Thok are. Ah yes, those two. Strange pair. I swear they are about ready to kill one another. Ha, yeah, sounds like them. They were asking me about the Dragonkin ruins here on the island. I think they were last seen headed northwest of here, towards the ruin by the volcano. It wasn't that long ago. They should still be there if you hurry. P2 Powers, Thok is happy to see you again. Why, Thok was just telling Carlos here about how much Thok missed you. Karos, we've been over this, Thok. Karos. Haha, your angry mewling is funny. You are like angry wolf cub wanting to be petted first. If you try and pet me again, I will enchant you so that you think you're a duck. Thok would make a mighty duck, the strongest of all the ducks, perhaps more of a goose, a thought goose. Honk. P2 Powers, help me kill him. No one would know, just our little secret. No, little crab toss. We know your little knife cannot pierce Thok's mighty hide. That was totally an accident. Thok knows you were just trying to keep Thok on his toes, but Thok has been stabbed many times. He has built an immunity to knives. Wait, it doesn't work like that. If I might bring you both back on track, have you learned anything about Karapak? Oh yes, P2 Powers. Thok has a mighty tale to tell. Would you like to hear it? I guess so. You had better dismiss your pet before we begin. This tale is far too mighty. Okay. Dismiss Eddie. The night Thok arrived on the island, the air was heavy and Thok knew evil waited around the corner. Thok was alone on an island full of monstrous creatures round every corner. Alone? What am I, invisible? Ha! Tiny Man is correct. Thok, sorry Thok left you out. That's better. Thok was alone apart from scrawny little Karos who was overcome by terrible fear. I want it on record that this did not happen, but at least he got your name right. Ha ha ha! Do not worry, Tiny Man, there is no shame in being scared. Not all can be as mighty and as brave as Thok. But this is digression from the story. Thok arrived on this island of certain death. Armed only with rippling muscles and Thok's mighty stick, Thok set out to explore the island. Thok stopped. Thok heard a noise, loud and terrible. Danger was approaching. Thok knew that villainous Karapak had sent his minions to crush us. But Thok is mighty. Thok is already ready for battle. Or always ready for battle, rather. Oh, look at Thok doing my morning routine. Take it down a notch, will you? Scrawny Man is no fun. Monsters attacked! Oh, come on, they weren't that big. Fine, Scrawny Karos is no fun. The beast was smaller, but it brought with it many friends. The beast looked at Thok with hungry eyes, for Thok is big and would make a most impressive meal. But ha! Thok is a meal made of fists, and these lizards were only going to eat knuckle sandwiches. Not gonna lie, pretty jealous right now. The lizards were no match for Thok's most magnificent of muscles. Why, with just one twitch from his left pectoral, Thok can stop whole armies in their tracks. Just imagine what would happen were Thok to unleash the right one. For the love of all that glistens, can you actually take us somewhere remotely near a valid point? Thok is getting there, Scrawny Man. Have patience. As Thok was saying, Thok explored. I wonder what else we're gonna get to do with Thok. Stop listening to Thok's tale. What? No, we're just trying to explore. You're not seriously going to describe everything step by step, are you? Look, we came to this island for a reason. Your shoddy sailing may have stranded us here, but we still had a purpose. P2 Powers, after Karapak betrayed all of us and escaped, we felt, well, it was our responsibility to try and fix things. The storm proved to be a problem for a while, but then it mysteriously died down. I wish I could tell you it's because everything had magically solved itself, but none of us are that lucky. Thok is that lucky. Once Thok found a... Literally no one cares, you great lumbering boulder with legs. Thank you, yes, Thok's legs are like rocks, strong, sturdy, and you can build houses with them. What? Because Thok's legs are mighty and strong. Thok can carry much weight between his thighs. But enough of this nonsense. Let us move on to something of more substance than Thok's lower appendages. When we came to this island, I could feel it immediately. This place is wrong, like it's not meant to be here, at least not now. It can only mean that Karapak used the needle, somehow, to pull this island into the present. The question is, why? Because he is a villain. Villains always have confusing plans. Thok's plan is much simpler, because Thok is no villain. And Thok is much simpler. But yes, back to the subject at hand, the island. It's clear that this place had some significance to Karapak. Is it full of big lizards? I suspect if Karapak had wanted big lizards, he could have managed that without ripping an entire island out of time. No, it's this place, and it's this when. Yes, so that is why we explored further. But as we explored, from the jungles poured more lizards. Haha, yes, die, trash. Even though these lizards were bigger than most lizards, they were still easily squashed beneath Thok's mighty heel. Knowing this land would be fraught with danger would have made lesser warriors tremble, but Thok knew it to be glorious. And so, with his mighty weapon in his hand, ready for battle, Thok bravely marched forward. Sorry about that cough. I meant to take it out, but forgot. Oh, for the love of Gothics, enough walking. Look, let's just skip us forward a bit, shall we? It wasn't until we reached the base camp that we really learned anything valuable anyway. We discovered an ancient ruin that had once belonged to the beasts we sought. Terrible beasts they were, monsters by the name of the Dragon Kings. The Dragonkin, kin as in related to, as in relatives of Dragonkin. How are you alive? Genuinely curious how someone as completely ignorant as you could survive this dangerous world. Haha, yes, Thok is a mighty survivor. Thok is the greatest warrior on the land, and even these ignorants you speak of cannot defeat me. Seriously, No, I give up. I cannot be bothered trying to reason with this. Back to you, you great lumbering idiot. So, this place, this home of monsters, had become home to others. Brave explorers had sailed to this island before us, seeking to claim it as their own. Thok wanted to meet them, to shake their hands and share mead with them, so Thok made his way to the camp. It was then that Thok saw her, the way she carried her weapon, the way she studied the world with those eyes. A real warrior, a mighty warrior woman. Thok had never seen someone so magnificent even among the Fremennik warrior women. Oh, and what about your pretty lass? Thok and pretty lass are taking a break. Oh, I'm sorry. It does not matter. Some things are not meant to be. We were from two different worlds. Quite literally, if Thok recall correctly. But enough of past loves. A new star shines bright in Thok's sky, and her name is Linekia. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. My Thok, you have so many muscles. I am impressed by your mighty beard and impressive musky odor. She, of course, never said that. It's nice to dream sometimes. Thok asked the Radiant Star if she had seen the blue beast Carapac. Mighty Thok, I have not seen such a beast, but there is a darkness here, a terrible evil that begins in the heart of the island and spreads out like an infection. Perhaps this is the villain you seek? Thok knew it was. Who else could be so infested with evil as the betrayer Carapac? No one. Come, my star that ignites the heavens, let us discuss this villain in the main camp. Star that ignites the heavens? Really? I distinctly recall at the time it was more something like if, lib, skabala, all that. Thok sometimes struggle with words with magnificent women. Anyway, we went to the camp. I know that feeling, Thok. I also struggle with words, but only with one magnificent woman. Love you, babe. When Thok arrived in the base camp, a terrible darkness filled the air. It was heavy, the heaviness of a storm as it approached, or the heaviness of Thok's breakfast heavy. I've seen Thok eat. The breakfast is not to be trifled with, though. I think there might actually be trifle in it. Then, as if carried on evil winds, the villain Carapac arrived. Bwah! Villain, you dare show your face in front of the mighty Thok? Thok will punch that smile off your face along with your teeth. Well, Thok did say he struggled with words, so no, not my teeth. Neither of them said that. You probably guessed that, but I want to be clear. You interrupted Thok, and now Thok has lost his train of thought. Where was Thok? Bwah! Villain, you thought you could escape Thok by cowardly fleeing to this tiny island full of lizards? Ha! Thok is too skilled a hunter to be escaped from so easily. But Thok has you now. Thok will destroy you. Bwah! Though you are mighty, Thok, perhaps the mightiest of all warriors, with powerful muscles and the most impressive beard. Focus, Thok, focus. No, Thok, you will not destroy me. You will not even touch me. As we speak, my dark plans moves into place. Soon my machine will be restored, and with it I shall return the world into dust. Sorry about that. You and all you love will be destroyed. I shall be the end of Thok. The end of the world. Bwahaha. With that, the villain left. Thok would have thrown his stick at him, but the villain was too quick. We watched him fly away and disappeared into this volcano somehow. Like all villains, he hides himself away where he thinks Thok cannot touch him. But that villain didn't know what Thok knows. Thok knows that P2 powers and Thok together cannot be stopped. We will seek mighty vengeance for his betrayal. Wait, all that to tell me Karapak's base is in the volcano? The most obvious place on this island for an evil villain lair? Haha, see? Thok knew P2 powers is smarter than Karapak. Knew they would work it out instantly. Now you know what I've had to put up with for the last few weeks. I really must apologize for Thok. He means well, but he's Thok. I have several theories to explain his behavior, but I feel that time is of the essence. So, whilst I could sit here and insult the lumbering buffoon all day, let's instead get down to business. Tell me, what do you know about this island? I know it's Fossil Island. Well, sort of. This is what Fossil Island used to be. So it both is Fossil Island and it isn't. For the purposes of what we've uncovered, it isn't really Fossil Island. Indeed, this island, this aptly named Anachronia, is an island torn out of time. The question is, why? In my investigations, I have come to believe that this island is the ruin of a once great Dragonkin kingdom. I believe it was named Orthan. More so than that, I believe that the Dragonkin we know now are quite different from the Dragonkin that built this place. Indeed, I believe that something happened here that fundamentally altered the course of the Dragonkin destiny. Better still, given the state of the island, I believe that these secrets are here for us to discover them. Fortunately, I happen to know that you've begun to make quite the name for yourself in the Archaeology Guild. So, those secrets shouldn't stay buried for long. Look around the Dragonkin ruins, see if you can excavate any artifacts that might help us piece together the secrets of this island. Let's see, what do you know about Anachronia? Honestly, very little. This island is impossible, a literal land out of time. As Roto, I heard all about the theories on Fossil Island, on the flora and fauna there, on the ancient bones and, well, fossils. But that place is gone now. Instead, the past has been dragged forward to replace it. What is now what was. Have I mentioned I hate time travel? This island, it was clearly once a stronghold of the Dragonkin. The island is littered with their ruins. Which means Karapak deliberately chose a time after the fall of the Dragonkin, but before this place became Fossil Island. He wants something here, and he wants no other Dragonkin around to stop him. Okay, what do you know about the Dragonkin? Surprisingly little, to be honest. For all their power and fury, the Dragonkin have remained secret from most of the world for millennia. As Roto, I only heard whispers. Whispers. Among the vampires, I heard even less. I know that once they were cursed, bound to the Stone of Jazz, such that whenever it was used, they would feel terrible rage and pain. They would also grow more powerful, which eventually led to them destroying whatever being was foolish enough to use the stone at that time. Given the power of the Stone of Jazz, you can be certain that the Dragonkin, at the height of their power, were a terrible force to behold. Even the gods feared them. I also know that there are two Dragonkin factions, the Dactyl, led by Karapak, who sought to end the curse through magic and alchemy, and the Necrocerts, that sought only to vent their rage and hatred on the world. What worries me is that right now, at this time, I only know what the Dactyl are up to. The Necrocerts have disappeared from anywhere I have eyes. Still, right now, the Dactyl are the only threat we have time to focus on. Right now, we're looking for some Dragonkin artifacts. You find Dragonkin device damaged. Let's inspect it real quick. The design of this artifact is aesthetically pleasing, its color soothing, the rhythmic thrum it gives off relaxing, and its multifaceted shape hypnotic. Extensive study of it caused observers to fall into a deep sleep and have vivid dreams. A little bird told me that you've discovered something quite interesting. I restored this device. It's some sort of crystal-like structure. It seems to be resonating with something somehow. Yes, amazing, exactly what we needed. What is it? Not a clue, sorry. I mean, keep hold of it. It definitely feels important, but right now it could be anything. A key, a door, a book, a magical purse could literally be anything. Well, that's not terribly helpful. No, not really, but I suspect it will be. You know how this normally goes. You bumble about the place and everything you find is eventually important. No, I think this is part of a larger puzzle. I think you need to get back out there and dig up another artifact for us to investigate. There's a bigger picture here, we just need to uncover it. What do you think about this device? Do you really have no idea what this could be? I was rather dismissive earlier. Let me take a proper look at it. It's certainly very strange. There's an energy to it, a sort of magical resonance that I've only really encountered in the Lunar Isles. Whatever it is, it's not built for us, I'm afraid. Scalier brains are needed to get into this. You find the Dragonkin Tablet. Some sort of Dragonkin Tablet. I don't recognize any of the words. Perhaps Carol can tell me more. This stone tablet appears akin to those discovered from other eras, albeit much older. However, strange glowing glyphs have been seen to appear on it, floating above the tablet's surface, when exposed to certain local external stimuli. Well, this is definitely something. It's old Dragonkin, similar to modern Dragonkin, but with a bit more nuance. Unfortunately, it's the sort of prose that requires an understanding of a more draconic way of thinking. So it's another useless dead end? On this occasion, I am pleased to say that we might be in luck. We fortunately have an expert on draconic thinking, someone who's made quite the career getting inside the heads of dragons, or their hearts at least. Who? The last dragon rider, you know, till he wasn't. I've been keeping tabs on him. Someone who can take control of deadly lizards felt like they might be useful in Anachronia. As the whims of fate would have it, he's made his way to this island region on his own, apparently to do a little gardening, well, farming anyway. Last my little spiders told me was that he was talking to Great Granny Potterington on the ranch. Your little spiders? Well, every spy network needs a sinister little name. Don't worry though, I get my information from something much less sinister than secret spy agencies. Always listen to gossips, P2 Powers. You'll be amazed at what secrets you can pick up. But whilst I would love to talk about myself a little while longer, time is of the essence. Hannibus will have the emotional understanding we need to crack this. You should go and say hi. Okay, what do you think about this tablet? It's an ancient Dragonkin tablet. It's written in a very different style to the existing Dragonkin works. The modern stuff is guttural, quick, harsh, as though writing is a terrible effort. But this flows and undulates around the page as if flowing with emotion. Emotion, unfortunately, seems to change the meaning of the words completely, though. I know some words like patience and security, but some of these other words make no sense. Oddly, though, I don't believe it's a code. I believe this was intended to be read by someone that's supposed to be by who could understand the emotion. But who can understand the emotions of lizards? Except, of course, another lizard. Hannibus, what are you doing here? Hello there. I've decided to spend a bit more time on Gielinor to try and connect with my daughter. It's a wonderful opportunity and I refuse to squander it, so I thought I'd come here and do what I do best. Ride giant lizards into battle, slaying all and sundry? No, you might not know this, but before I was a warrior, I was a shepherd. On my world we had the Gur, but your world has stranger lizards. Fortunately, I got to meet young Mrs. Potterington here. Oh, you little flirt, you. Flattery will get you anywhere, my dear. The ancient Potterington winks at Hannibus. It's a disturbing sight. Yes, well, what I mean to say is Mrs. Potterington has introduced me to these great creatures here. I thought I might raise some of them, give me a chance to settle down and properly provide for my family, now that I have one. But what are you doing here? Looking for you, actually. You have a unique understanding of the Dragonkin, sharing as you do that lizard mindset. I wondered whether you might be able to help me translate some of their old writing. I know some of the words, but the prose is strange. Of course, my friend. I am always happy to help. Let me take a look. I can see how you struggled with this. It's not like normal Dragonkin. It's more flowery. You sort of have to follow the flow of emotions around the page to get the meaning. It's a bit like a poem, only not quite. This is fascinating. It's so sad. Did you know there were multiple Dragonkin casts? More than 2 anyway. We know about the Necrocerts and the Dactyl, but this tablet is talking about a third group. The Nodden. It seems that the Nodden had a very different approach to dealing with the curse. Rather than fight it or succumb to it, they apparently tried to sleep through it. What? Indeed, and more to the point, it stands to reason that they might still be trying to sleep through it. This tablet speaks of a great chamber where several of them went to sleep. I think I know where it is. There's some ruins to the northeast of the island. Meet me there and we can see if we can learn anything useful. What do you think about what's going on? Come, we should visit the ruins on the northeast of the island. The tablet seems to point us in that direction. Oh, okay, well we'll just do that. Ah, hello P2 Powers. You discovered this place too, I see. According to that tablet, behind these doors should rest the sleeping Nodden. Nodden, what do we know about them? I understand you have encountered the Dactyl and the Necrocerts before. The Nodden were a third Dragonkin creed. My research suggests that there was a fourth, but I have not been able to learn even their title. A creed? Is that more like a caste or a faction or what? More like a faction. They're all Dragonkin, but the different creeds held very different philosophical ideologies. The Nodden were pragmatic. To deal with the curse, they simply went into a long hibernation. I think some of them may be here. Unfortunately, I cannot open this door. I believe it needs a key. The tablet referenced some sort of crystalline device, if I understood it correctly. Something rather like that device you're holding. You should try that on the door. Wait, let's use... This Dragonkin device is responding to this door. I wonder. What is this place? Are those Dragonkin in those tanks? Indeed, they are. I believe this place is some kind of hibernation chamber, a hibernatorium, if you will. Sleeping Dragonkin it is. Well, let's not try to wake them up. Not only sleeping, they are dreaming? Yes, and also connected. Like a shared dream? I believe I might be able to temporarily connect us to their dream. Would that be safe? So long as we do not interact directly with the dreamers, we should go unnoticed, shall we? So, is this a dream? We're still in the hibernatorium. Yes, this is a shared Dragonkin dreamscape. These two are reliving a shared memory of this place. Want to see? Pay close attention to what each of them does. Try to see what both of them do. Even when fast forwarding, this part still takes forever. You see the Dragonkin enter some symbols into the pylon interface. Perhaps you should take a closer look. Aha! The Dreaming Dragonkin changed these. I should remember these symbols and try inputting them outside of this dream. Full disclosure, for this part, I just took a picture of the symbols. Looks good. That's it. These are the symbols the Dragonkin input in the dream. Now to press this last button. Indeed, I heard something power down in the chamber below. It took me way too long to realize that you had to follow the second Dragonkin in the dream to be able to go down below. I'm not going to show everything I tried because I feel like this video is already going to be way too long. But yeah, it was pretty frustrating, I'm not going to lie. The Dragonkin in these pods are reliving a different dream from the caretakers in the upper chamber. After practicing on those two upstairs, I think I might be able to guide these Dragonkin's dreams toward Carepack. I am picking up the term Kindred Council from two of these Dragonkin. Perhaps their dream can enlighten us some more about him and how he thinks. Enter that. Okay, yes. Okay, wait. I'm so awkward and hate these moments where there's like a 10 or 15 second gap from in between actions or dialogue. So it's not a big enough gap for me to cut the video, but it's also too big of a gap for me not to say anything, and I never really know what to say. This pool appears to be where the so-called Kendra Council held forums. Are you ready for me to connect to their dream? Yes. We are all here. I call this Kendra Council session to order. Oh, I think that's Sakareth, leader of the Necrocerts. Very well. Each creed shall put forth their plan to deal with Jas and the other destroyers. And there's Karapak. Well, the dreamer's memory of him, at least. He is not actually in hibernation. How can I tell which are dreamers and which are their memories? I believe only the two Nodden are reliving this memory. The others are just as the Nodden remember them. There may be some bias in what we see here. The Nodden are working with the other creeds to build a hibernatorium north of here. Surviving the abyss and then building this city has taken a toll on our people. We must replenish our strength before we do anything with the elders. The Nodden Young support Maragon's plan. Of course you would side with your mate. We have been through so much to get here. Now is the time to push forward, not sleep. The technology being created is already having wider implications. Skeka is working on some experiments with the local fauna with the assistance of the hunter Varanus. Perhaps so, but I concur with Karapak. We must take this opportunity to learn about this newly created universe. The Agra are preparing many expeditions through the abyss to new worlds. Agra, what's that? Ah, this must be the 4th Dragonkin Creed. I can finally put a name to them, though there are few accounts of them at all. Our kin have spent too long in the abyss. We were lucky that it has had no lasting ill effects on our bodies, but spending more time within it is folly. This is not a concern of the Akra. Our minds are what make us Dragonkin. Our bodies merely crude flesh. And what of the Sirets, whatever. Sirets, why not Necrocerts? I sense no mocking here. This is respect on Karapak's voice. No doubt this was the original name of this creed. We intend to seek out the leader of these elder beings, Jas, and show it our value. They destroyed our world, our universe, with purpose. They destroyed us unknowingly. Beings of such immense power should be respected from afar. And you would rather we supplicate ourselves to such power than rise up to meet it? This is not the Dragonkin way. No, once they are aware of us, they will see we are worthy of respect. We are unique within their creation. You cannot make peace with such beings. This is idealistic folly. Indeed, the only way to obtain respect from such beings is to magic and stature surpass it even. And you call us naive. Except my idea is not folly. I have been studying them and how they sculpted this universe, and have drawn up designs for a device that will not only match their power, but rival it. My device generates a new form of energy, the likes of which is unseen on this world, indeed not seen in this universe, shadow anima. With it, we can rapidly advance our civilization and stand shoulder to shoulder with the destroyers. They should not dare oppose us, and we can live in peace and prosperity. This sounds dangerous. We would be like mosquitoes attempting to feast on their blood. We could be easily swatted. We all witnessed how easily our home was brought to ruin. We were not all so lucky to evacuate in time. Sorry about that. You collectively would all rather run away to the abyss, hide in your minds, or have us become servants. These things are not the Dragonkin way. You do your kin a disservice, Karapak. We do these things for our own betterment, not out of fear. Your plan for the Dactyl is sound and of value to our people, but the Kendra urges caution. For the Cert's plan too, Sakareth, whatever. Indeed, the Nodden align with the Agra here. We shall continue on with our own plans, but we insist your two creeds keep the Kendra informed of your own progress. This is acceptable to us. Also to the Dactyl. I believe that is the end of the Nodden memory. We didn't learn much. We already knew Karapak had some sort of device. We still don't know what it does or is, other than it supposedly generates shadow anima, whatever that is. Let me see if I can steer those Nodden to a future Kendra meeting. Hannibus, those two Dragonkin didn't disappear like the rest. Is that supposed to happen? It is okay. I'm not so sure this is a good idea. I think one of them has noticed us. Please, I must concentrate. Hannibus. What manner of beings are you? How do you invade our dream? You carry the stench of Karapak's device. The Elder asked you questions. Answer him. Answer them. I may have made an error in judgment. We apologize, Mayor again, is it? We meant not to intrude. We only entered here to discover more about Karapak. Him and this device of his, he has become a threat to the world. Would you help us stop him? We were hoping to see how his experiments fared in your other Kendra Council meetings. There were no other meetings. Karapak did not keep his word, turned on his device without Kendra approval. Maragon, I told you we should not have gone into hibernation when we were cursed. Karapak has taken it upon himself once again. Perhaps we have slept too long, Daraval. Very well, Veckin. You saw in our dream here Karapak's intent for his device. Then let me share with you the direct result of his actions. This is going to hurt.
The Dragonkin of the Dactyl were well regarded for their scientific prowess, and none were as renowned as Karapak. It was to riotous applause that Karapak unveiled his latest invention, a device he promised would spark a new dawn of Dragonkin science, a machine capable of generating limitless power by flooding the world with corruption. The possibilities were endless. He believed that with power of this scale, the Dragonkin would rival the creators themselves. Pride precedes a fall. Before Karapak could celebrate his creation, the Elder God's displeasure was made known. Jazz, the eldest of them, laid waste to the Dragonkin cities. In moments, the work of centuries was undone, and the Dragonkin fled in terror. Jazz bound the Dragonkin to the Catalyst, an elder artifact of great power. The Dragonkin sought the power of the Elder Gods, and their wish was granted. Pride precedes a fall.
You stumble out of the dream where-y headed. As you and Hannibus recover, you hear voices at the southern entrance of the Hypernatorium, and the two of you head over. Ah, good, there you are. So whilst you've been following up that lead with Hannibus, Thok and I have been studying the island a little more. Turns out there's a whole wealth of ancient Dragonkin knowledge waiting to be uncovered. Why, I could spend years unearthing their secrets. Imagine the technology, imagine the power we could... Listen, do you hear something? Thok can sense the encroaching presence of evil. What does that mean? Thok is right. I can feel something approaching the ruins. Ah, yes, I can feel it now. The resonance of elder artifacts mixed with a touch of Dragonkin arrogance. Karapak. He must have realized that we've uncovered what we've uncovered, and it seems important enough to warrant the personal touch. Be ready. I doubt this is a friendly hello. So, you have discovered the sleeping Nodin. Or, I don't know, Nodin, something like that. A fascinating example of the futility of hope. The Nodin were our builders, our architects, and the visionaries who were able to raise up the mightiest of Dragonkin cities. Yet, when faced with the threat of the Elder Gods, the cowards chose to sleep through it, to dream of better worlds and the pointless hope of waking into one. Pointless. One cannot simply hope for a better world. One must be willing to do what it takes to create that world. But hope is such a powerful vice. The weakest people will always yearn to give into it. It isn't weak to hope, Karapak. It's a belief in better things. That belief stops you giving up. It empowers you. Hope can stop you doing something terrible. Karapak, my friend, you've lost hope and look what you've become, what you might do. Please, my friend, stop this madness and work with us. We can find another way. Ha! This villain has enough chances. Thok will put a stop to him right now. This is pointless. There's no battle here, no conflict. You cannot stop me. I have the needle. Still, fight me if you must. Reason has not worked, so come, witness to the futility of your efforts. Villain! Let's see, where are they? He said, I am inevitable. Okay, Thanos. Am I fighting him too? I guess so, and he's invincible, yay. So what am I supposed to do to continue the quest? I literally don't know what to do. Alright, so... Can I place the measure thing? Is that a thing? Huh. There, you see? There's nothing you can do to me. I control the flow of time as easily as you control your breathing. Any harm you inflict on me simply never was. I could destroy you now. I could unmake your very birth. You would simply never be. I could do this, but I won't. I am not a monster. I am no wicked villain laughing from my thrones of bones. I do not wish to kill this world, but there is simply no other way. The Elder Gods have awoken. It is only a matter of time before their eggs hatch and the Elder Gods tear apart not only this world, but all other worlds. My people have seen this happen, know firsthand the devastation that such an act causes. If one world is the price to prevent that happening to all other worlds, it is a fair price. But I understand how little comfort that is to you and your kind, so I offer you this gift, the absence of hope. Know that you cannot stop me, so do not waste your final moments in fruitless attempts to thwart me. Go spend time with loved ones, friends, and family. Celebrate your lives together, bury old grievances, and prepare yourselves for an afterlife with a clean conscience. Few are granted such a gift. For what little friendship we had, I urge you not to squander it. So that's it then. Perhaps we could evacuate some of the population? A mass evacuation is practically impossible. We could get a scant few hundred through the world gate at best. Then perhaps we should take his advice and spend time with our loved ones. I should go and see Vindicta, see if I cannot be a father to her in her final hours. I guess we can offer some advice. No, I won't give up. Carapac may have power, but I've faced down powerful foes before. I've stood up to demons, dragons, gods, and the warped abomination of Zaktak. I am not going to surrender to some blue dragonkin with a superiority complex. Yes, Thok agrees with P2 Powers. This villain thinks he can scare us with his cheating magic tricks? We are some of the mightiest warriors in the world. Thok is strongest, obviously. P2 Powers is guardian of worlds and would never give in. Hannibus, though tiny, rides mighty dragons into battle. Karos is... Come to think of it, Karos probably would give up. I am standing right here, and aside from his last comment, I agree with Thok. Which makes me feel a little ill. But Thok is right. The only way that Carapac guarantees victory is if we give up. Direct combat failed, sure, but there are more weapons in our arsenal. And the most powerful weapon of all is friendship. Thok's fist! Knowledge. I was going to say knowledge. I hate you. I want you to know this. You're right. We need to see what more we can learn. Karos, you investigate the Dragonkin ruins. See if there are any more secrets you can uncover. On it. Hannibus, you see if there's anything more you can learn from the Sleeping Nodden. I'm not sure there's much more they're willing to share, but I'll see what I can do. I'll return to Saren and see if she and the council have any additional leads. Thok, you, I shall punch some dinosaurs. They might know something. Sure, you go do that. We'll meet back at the base camp after I've spoken to Saren. Carapac won't get rid of us that easily. Hello again, P2 Powers. I hope you are here with good news. Yes, what news have you brought us? Have you uncovered Carapac's plan? Can we stop him? There is a restlessness in the underworld. I worry something awful is going to happen soon. As you can see, time is of the essence. I'm afraid I am the bearer of bad news. When Carapac took control of the needle, he managed to make himself invulnerable. Whatever we do to him, whatever harm we inflict, it just vanishes as though it was never there. Ah, yes, I was worried that would be the case. The needle is one of the most powerful artifacts. Its ability to control time makes it almost unstoppable. I like the word almost. Yes, unfortunately we don't know much about the needle. We don't know its strengths or weaknesses. Fortunately, we do know someone who might. Primrose? Indeed, the needle's former host, Gale, known now and before as Primrose. If there are any answers to be had, then I imagine that she will be the one with them. I'll go and see if Primrose has any answers for us. How can I help you? Ah, yes, that. Being connected to the needle is indescribable, past and present so easily melded together, and I could undo any mistake with a simple gesture. No one should have that power. Can the needle be destroyed? I'm sorry, I have no idea. It's powerful and it protects itself. How do you harm something that can undo whatever harms it? Can the needle be counteracted? You're really asking the wrong person there. I was its agent, its voice, I suppose. I wasn't its master. The needle has a will of its own, you see. As Gale, I could direct it, but I could never act against it. So it's intelligent? Not really, not like you or I, but there's a power there. A strength that threatened to overwhelm me if I wasn't too careful. Does it have any weaknesses? Not that I know of, sorry. It can manipulate time itself. There's no defense against that. How are you doing? I'm healthy and I'm home. There's been a lot of difficult conversations, but we're getting through them. Mom's been really trying. She's still overly protective, but she'll learn to let go. She even let me write a letter to Sloop. He's with someone else now. But we're still friends. I don't quite know whether I'd call what Carapac did to me a good thing, but it's not all bad. I do miss Gale a bit, though. Ask about Gale? Haha, I really don't know what I can tell you there, but I'll help where I can. What was it like being her? It was wonderful. She was so free. As Gale, I could go anywhere, be anyone. Well, as long as I didn't stray too far from the needle. You were tied to it? Something like that. The needle and I were deeply connected, and it was part of me as I was part of it. It's an impossible to describe bond, like we are attached by the soul. As Carapac has the needle, I don't think that helps as much. Whilst I know you don't know how to defeat Carapac, you have given me some ideas. If the needle forges a connection with its user and the needle itself has something like a will of its own, you're wondering if we can turn that connection against Carapac? Something like that, yes. I'm sorry, I have no idea how I'd do that. No, but perhaps Saren or the Council might have some ideas. Sadly, Primrose didn't have anything concrete we could use, but she did give me some thoughts. The needle has some sort of will of its own and a connection with its owner. If we could disrupt that connection, he'd lose his power. I don't suppose Primrose knows how to do that. I'm afraid not. How unfortunate. I had hoped, well, I suppose that leaves us with no other choice. I had wanted to not involve them to avoid risking their ire, but we're out of options. If we want to know how to stop an Elder artifact, we will need to speak to its creator. Get your affairs in order, P2 Powers. It's time we bring you face to face with the most powerful being in existence. Meet me outside the heart of Gielinor. I shall arrange an audience with Jazz. We're going to talk to an Elder God? We're out of options. They may be the only ones who can stop this. But these negotiations are going to be difficult. We cannot afford mistakes. One wrong move and Jazz could decide to end this world once and for all. So, be on your best behavior. Hello, P2 Powers. I have spoken with my aunt. She is willing to listen to what we have to say. Be careful with your tone. Remember who these are, the creators of the universe. If we say the wrong thing, if we upset them, it's not just our lives that are in danger. The fate of the entire universe could well be in our hands. No pressure. Are you ready? Let's do it. Speak. Ask about Carapac. Tell Jazz about the situation. Carapac, one of the Dragonkin, has taken control of an Elder artifact, the Needle. He's used it to bring a version of Orthan, the Dragonkin island north of here, through time. He sealed himself away in the volcano in his old lair. It seems like he wants to use something there. We don't know exactly what he's up to, but we know it's targeted at you and the other Elder Gods. And that as a result of his actions, it'll kill all life on Gielinor. Yes. Wait, you know all this? Yes. Can you intervene? No. Why not? Point out her power. We don't want to question her weakness. You're Jazz, an Elder God. Your power is unrivaled. Why don't you deal with this? Why don't you deal with this to you relatively insignificant threat? The Dragonkin is defended. He is shielded by the toxic substance. Shadow anima? The substance his machine produced before you enslaved them? It is toxic. Anathema. Tell me about the barrier. Tell me about the barrier. How is Carapac keeping you at bay? It is a barrier of the toxic substance. We cannot abide. So he's completely safe from you? Do not misunderstand. Our inaction is now a kindness. We can still remove him if we must. But the island will be removed with it. The resulting tidal forces will destroy your settlements. We assume you do not want this. Were we incorrect? Nope, definitely correct. Please don't do that just yet. Alright, let's ask about something else, about the needle. Can it be stopped? Yes. How? It can be unmade, or it can be deactivated. We can assume control, but we must be in its presence. But the Dragonkin prevents this. Can I assume control? Can I take over the needle? No, you cannot. Your nature prevents it. What do you mean? You are not compatible. Alright, let's see, the Dragonkin. Don't you feel guilty? Were you angry? Why were you... No. Can you tell me about the Elder Gods? No. Alright, let's ask about the Shadow Anima. Why were you angry about it? It is a toxic substance. It destabilizes and destroys. It is anathema to this universe and our design. It cannot be permitted to be created. Alright, now I feel like I'm going in circles. Can you help? If I find a way to get through the barrier to get to Carapac directly, is there anything you can do? Yes. Bring this to the Dragonkin. It will correct the mistake. You feel a weight in your backpack as an item forms itself out of thin air? Or out of the air? What will it do? It will remove his control of the needle. Then we will resolve the situation. That sounds ominous. You won't destroy the island or anything. Damage to the island will be minimal. If you act quickly. We cannot allow this situation to persist too long. Act now, or we will. Alright, I think that's good enough. That was harrowing, but I think I've got something that can help. Jazz says that it will remove Carapac's control over the needle. You handled that well, P2 Powers. We are in a delicate time with the Elder Gods. One wrong step could have been the end of all of us. But you emerged not only unscathed, but also in possession of a powerful item. It's a gift from the Elder Gods. It's going to be important. Keep it with you. I heard that what Jazz said. Time is of the essence. You should return to Anachronia and speak with your allies. With luck, they might have discovered something that can help us end this. Before it's all too late. Well, between us, we seem to have made some interesting headway. P2 Powers has this shiny device, which should remove Carapac's time-wrangling threat. I've managed to uncover some interesting information about Dragonkin's security system, which should prove useful. And Thok punched a couple of dinosaurs. Nothing useful came from it. Arr. Hannibus, are you alright? Can't you feel that? So much pain. Pain and fear. It's like a wave of suffering crashing all around us. This isn't good. Carapac, the villain is making his move. I forgot what voice I had. Villain? How small you think, Thok. It must be quite a terrible existence. I should have expected you would remain, World Guardian, defiant to the end. You have no choice, no hope, no possibility of victory, and yet here you stand. You even bring the trinkets of those who would enslave or destroy you, but it would do you little good. My barrier protects me even here. I bear you no ill will, P2 Powers. I would prefer that you spend your final days in the company of loved ones. But you have chosen to fight, a single reed standing against a flood. I understand, you're a warrior, a soldier. Only a death in battle would soothe your soul. I am a generous host. You shall have your wish. I have turned the creatures of this island towards this camp. Each one of them suffers a fraction of what drove my kin for millennia. No, Carapac, they're just animals. Don't be so cruel. Cruel? Cruel? You stand against me on behalf of the beings that tortured and enslaved my people for centuries, and you dare lecture me on cruelty? No, I am far from cruel. I give you the gift of time, a chance to evacuate your people before I render this base camp to rubble. A kindness my kind never had. That villain. Quickly, we should hurry. We need to get these people out of here. This will be a glorious fight, P2 Powers. Talk to Thok when you are ready. Thok wants to lend you something, but your fists are full. Okay, let's try that again. Thok ready to hit dinosaurs. Are you? I'm ready. No, you not. Take Thok's stick. It's fine. I have my own weapons. No, you take Thok's stick. It's better. Okay then. To keep this video from being even more unreasonably long, I'm just gonna have to use some fast forwarding tricks. Phew, that seems to be the last of them. I should check in with the others. We did it! Okay. Thok did it. I think we all helped. Mostly Thok. Well, I'm glad none of us are dead, even Thok, which is worrying. Oh well, he'll say something that will want to make me murder him again soon, I'm sure of it. But better than that, Karapak's nonsense spiel about Bind's cruelty and the passage of time has given me an idea. Come meet me by the volcano entrance. It occurs to me that whilst we've been looking for answers in the present, we should have focused more on the past. It's time we take the fight to Karapak, I think. Well, I don't know about you, but that was certainly an experience. Thok thought it was fun. I didn't enjoy that. Those poor creatures were just frightened and enraged by Karapak. What happened to him? Where's the man that offered to save my people? I guess we can defend him. He's in there, somewhere. I can understand where Karapak's coming from. He's angry, he's hurt, and he's scared. He's just been released from millennia of torment and slavery. He thinks he's found a way to stop it happening ever again to anyone. He knows the cost and he may even feel guilty, but it's a price he's willing to pay. But Thok isn't. Boo-hoo for Karapak. He had it hard. His people have it hard. That's sad. But it's not an excuse. He's wrong. He's doing wrong, and there's no room to feel sorry for him. We stop him or we all die. Yes, well, about that. I've been doing some thinking, and I've been studying those lovely relics you unearthed, and I have an idea. It seems that the Dragonkin technology of Orthan is based on the manipulation of something they refer to as cosmic energy. I believe that the key to unlocking Karapak's lab lies around neutralizing the, let's call it, cosmic harmony of his door. To that end, I believe we can use the ruins around the volcano to determine what the required resonance will be so that I can add a little noise to the harmony. I believe you have a rather nifty little elder artifact that should help us with that, P2 Powers, something called the Measure. Oh, you mean this old thing? Yes, how fortuitous that you should just be carrying that around on your person. I've explored the ruins around the volcano and discovered areas with a particularly strong magical resonance. I need you to come find me and use the Measure to track down the frequencies so I can work out a counter frequency to unlock Karapak's door. I know it all sounds the weird rambling of an old enchanter, and well, it is, but it'll work, trust me. Visit the ruined buildings around the volcano and look for me. When you find me, use the Measure next to me, and it should help us discover the resonance of this cosmic energy. Once we've done this a few times at different locations, I should be able to unpick Karapak's lock. I'll see you at the sites. Interesting. There's a definite magical resonance here. I can see how the term cosmic energy might cover it nicely. Of course, it's not actually another form of energy, it's just another way of looking at the same anima that the rest of us use. But it's refined differently, it's subtler, more sensitive. Good for magical security, that's for sure. Like a magical key, the slightest fluctuations would disrupt the shape, the harmony of this anima matrix. You couldn't just brute force magical locks that use this sort of energy. You need expert hands to do this. Fortunately, you have me, and I haven't found an enchantment I can't pick apart yet. That's weird. Odd, it seems to be behaving oddly the more we try and examine it. Quite fascinating, really. Still, one sample is only the start. We'll need to gather more data before we can learn anything really useful. Aha, I can see the patterns start to come together now. I'll give them their due, the Dragonkin. It seems we're quite inventive for their time. Wait, there it is again. The closer we get to observe the effects, the more distorted it is. Some sort of defense mechanism? No, it's something else. Karos eyes you oddly. The funny thing about anima is how strangely easy it is to manipulate. Oh sure, it's incredibly difficult to forge spells and the like. But anima itself is manipulated by everything it flows through. It takes on a resonance, if you will, of the area around it, environmental and emotional. The anima of a volcano is angry and hot, whereas the anima of a stream is mellow and cold. In effect, that's what a spell is. It's carefully manipulated anima, a clever application of those resonances to achieve a desired result. What's that got to do with Carapac? All in good time, P2 Powers, all in good time. Ah, good, yes, this is very helpful. Do you see the way the anima twists back in itself there? Like some sort of knot? Anima really is quite a remarkable substance. You can see why the elder gods feed on it, but what's remarkable is also how we define anima. Take, for example, the soul. As much as we glorify our souls, give it special significance, a soul is little more than a container of anima. Which sounds mundane, I confess, but it really isn't. Each soul is unique, and each soul creates a unique resonance in the anima. Necromancers, terrible people as they are, recognize this. Why do you think the strongest undead monsters come from the bones of heroes? Why did Sliske use the Barrows brothers to create his wights rather than random people off the street? Because their souls are stronger. Of course, souls are one end of the spectrum. On the other end are these subtle little locks of cosmic energy, small amounts of anima, but very specifically shaped. So, let's start with the matter at hand. I now have enough information to unlock Carapac's lab. Great, let's go and put a stop to all this. Why do you look so serious? Did you notice how the cosmic energy readings seemed to change as we observed? Yeah, the closer we got to them, the more erratically they behaved. Well, yes, that's partially true, with one small slight change. The closer you got. When it was just me, there was no change. When it was just you, well... Come on, let's return to the entrance. I think it's better I tell you this in the company of friends. Ah, P2 Powers, good you're here. I've got something to tell you. It's about that little gift that Guthix gave you, the one that turned you from adventurer into world guardian. What about it? Yes, well, before I get there, let's talk a bit about magic, shall we? Magic, as you're aware, is the manipulation of anima in order to achieve fantastic results. In essence, the manipulation of anima lets us borrow from the power set out by the Elder Gods in order to reorder the universe. Anima is all around us. It is absorbed and tuned by matter, with animals, plants, and even rocks attuning things differently. The end result is a beautiful harmony of anima that improves everything around us, the sort of song that the Elder Gods created this very planet to achieve. Where is this going? Well, you remember earlier when I spoke about souls, about how there are containers of anima that shape the anima with our experiences? Yes, well, it appears that your soul is different. It looks like when Guthix made you the World Guardian, by giving you some of his divine power, he also gave you something else. I believe the Dragon King called it Shadow Anima. Your soul contains a carefully constructed enchantment of that Shadow Anima. What does that mean? Well, on the plus side, it goes a long way to explaining your resistance to the power of the gods. As for all their terrible might, the power of the gods are ultimately applications of anima. This shadow anima, your shadow soul, if I may, would be repellent to this energy shielding you from their influence. So that's the good news. What's the bad news? Well, when has something prefixed with shadow ever been positive in the long term? However, let's ignore the possible horrifying future that awaits you. Cast aside all notions of mutating into an eldritch nightmare. What? Cast that aside. Let's focus only on good things. Like this little barrier here. You know this lab is protected? Well, it seems it's protected by this shadow anima, which explains the lack of direct assistance from Grandma Jas herself. Your average anima-based life forms like myself, Hanimas, and even Thok here, we can't cross that barrier without being torn apart. But to you, it'll be about as unpleasant as the heaviness of the air before a storm, You might feel a slight tingle, but otherwise you'll be fine. God, it's as if the air is filled with angry wasps that sting Thok. But they are so small, Thok cannot see them. Thok cannot fight them. Go on, my brave friend. Thok and friends will defend this entrance. Only you can do this now, P2 Powers, but we believe in you. Please, P2 Powers, try and save Carapac from himself, but if you can't, do what needs to be done. Alright, let's see how long this thing is. Alright, we'll read that real quick. The tenacity of adventurers is tiresome. I had hoped the storm would stop any from following me, leaving me in peace for the work that needs to be done. Yet they arrived nonetheless and have set up a base camp in the ruins of Orthan's Bazaar. They have so far failed to locate the entrance to the laboratory, but I must be careful not to be seen whenever I need to travel in order to complete my device. The needle allowed me to pull forward a version of Orthan from a point in time after the Roken curse, but before my device was destroyed. If I had returned the island pre-curse, my anachronistic kin would have opposed me as they did before. If after my device was destroyed, I would not have been able to recreate it. Kinrath. Before any adventurers made landfall here, I was able to construct a Kinrath within the laboratory by tapping into the volcano's magnum reserves. I can use this for all wastage without attracting undue attention from outside. I have installed a gurney to lower things in safety, including eggs should I need to incubate any. Slangcrass. Thankfully, I have also been able to transport enough hibernating Nodden to the Slangcrass chamber in my lab. The anima they will produce is crucial to the workings of my device. I would prefer not to use my own kin in this way, but to tap directly into the animosphere would prematurely signal my presence to the Roken. I learned that lesson in the hardest way possible, and I will not make the same mistake a second time. The Nodden Council members and their caretakers can remain undisturbed, hiding in their memories of past glory. I can't. When I have accumulated enough anima from the Nodden, I can inject it into my device to create shadow anima, then feed that directly into the animosphere through the piping in the Bahesfen chamber. Once the animosphere has been fully corrupted by the shadow anima and the destroyers themselves destroyed, I will finally be free and have proven my superiority over the Roken, Fiawara. The security of this project is paramount. To that end, I have installed a Kreeth Takla Draken, sister to the one abandoned beneath Olorgrax. Her aura provides shielding to keep this lab hidden and protected. She can act as a guardian should that prove to be insufficient. She will need to be safely contained, so I have placed her within a Firewara chamber to the north. The code to the switch it off being the names of the destroyers, input into pylons in the other chambers, one of each name. Jazz within the Slangcrest, Fool within the... all that. 4 Roken brought this pain-filled universe into existence, and 4 Roken names will send it into an entropic state. Its beginning and its end. There is some Cyric poetry in that. Sakarith would appreciate that much. Kala Shrak. Everything is in its place. Once I have harvested enough anima, I shall begin the process. It must reach critical mass before starting, enough to disable the destroyers in my first assault. If they are not sufficiently weakened, their retribution will be absolute. The Kalashrak has become my home as I sit and write this journal while monitoring all aspects of my device. There is nothing left now but to, as humans might say, kill time. Given I am now the avatar of the needle, that irony is not lost on me. For this last part, I just had to cycle through symbols to lower the barrier for the boss fight. I just kind of skipped past it just to speed things up. The symbol snap into place and the pylon becomes inactive. That should be the last one, looks like. Y'all might have already figured I was going to do this, but yes, I am going to speed through the boss kill, because even though I have good stats and good gear, this fight still took me a lot longer than I thought it would, but I'm also not the best DPSer, so... Yay, we did it. Again you stand in my way. Again you throw your life away for beings who would snuff you out in a heartbeat. I am trying to save the universe, to save creation itself. At the cost of all life on Gielinor? Collateral damage. This is a war, P2 Powers. A war that spans across all time and space. This is but one world. There are countless others. Without the sacrifice of this world, all the other worlds are doomed to die. Billions upon billions of lives will be snuffed out or enslaved. There has to be another way. You're one of the greatest minds on the planet, perhaps in the universe. I know how angry you must be, how hurt, how afraid of being bound once again. But you don't have to fight this alone. There's a whole council of people willing to find a solution. Work with us. Ha 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 ha. You think we have not tried that? You think my people have spent centuries doing nothing? We have pleaded with the Roken. We have begged them. We have worshipped them. We have fought for them, died for them. We have done everything to placate them. None of it changed a thing. We created life. Nothing. We raised civilizations in their name. Nothing. The Elder Gods don't care. The Elder Gods will never care. They will never see our value, never let us be free. There is no other way. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And make no mistake, we are all desperate creatures before them. So yes, this world will die, but their sacrifice will create a universe where no one need fear for their lives from capricious creators. Not sure what that word was. One world for countless others. There has never been a fairer trade. So there's no reasoning with you, no hope. Ah, that's where you're wrong. What I do here, I do to bring hope to all the worlds. Hope and freedom. I'm sorry, Carapac. You leave me no choice. Ha ha ha! And what do you think you can do to me, little human? I control time itself. You can do nothing to me. You have nothing. I have this. No, what have you done? Regained control. No! The needle connects you. The needle is mine. You are mine. No, I beg you, not again. Kill me, not again. No. Death is denied. You will serve us now. As will those connected to you. Their dream will serve us. You have achieved your goal. We will resolve the rest. You should leave. What have you done? I was free. I was free. I'm sorry, I didn't know. But you left me no choice. And now I shall never have a choice again. Go, World Guardian. You will not want to be around for what is to come. Okay, this is the last part I speed through, I promise, because the video's almost over. Yay! Y'all didn't think I could read y'all's minds, huh?
Carapac's life was spent fighting to free his people from the Elder God's chains. But in his hubris, he succeeded only in chaining himself and the unwitting Nodon. From below, a great shudder rose. The walls of the chamber began to buckle and crumble. A mountain fell on Carapac's device, annihilating it. Carapac and the World Guardian fled the ruins to avoid the same fate. The island of Anachronia was calm and still, blissfully unaware of the rising menace. Then, a gentle rumbling. Slowly, it grew and grew, until it felt as if the ground beneath their feet would tear itself apart. The Elder God full cleaved through the earth, and in her rage tore the volcano asunder. The Elder Gods were awake. And they were not pleased.
Wow. What was that? Did anyone else see that giant volcano monster rip the volcano apart? I think it's safe to say that the Elder Gods are awake and that they're not terribly happy with us. We were lucky to get out there alive. I have never seen such power. Thok wants to see it again. Thok wants to punch it in the... Thok was going to say nose, but Thok not sure it has a nose. Yes, well, much as I would love to see you atomized, Thok, I suspect that would be a bad idea. We survived Karapak's lab being obliterated by an Elder God. Let that sink in a moment. We survived the fury of an Elder God. And that's not even considering that we were stood next to a Dragonkin device intended to poison the life force of the world. Yes, well, thank the stars that's over with. I'm as much a fan of science as the next ancient enchanter, but there are limits to what we should do with it. And even I draw the line at devices intended to poison and kill an entire planet with shadow anima. I mean, to think of it, flooding the world with that stuff enough to poison the Elder Gods, can you even imagine what it would do to us? I don't know, Karos. What would being infected with shadow anima do to a person? Ah, right, yes. Sorry, poor wording on my part. Look, whatever Guthix did to your soul, it's clearly not an immediate threat. You've been the World Guardian for several years now, so if it was going to have done something horrific, it would probably have done it by now. So obviously, whatever horrible doom and gloom is coming your way, it's a slow burner, and you probably have plenty of time before the horrible consequences are revealed. I mean, with the amount of danger you hurl yourself into, you'll probably be dead long before we see any side effects. Yes, I can see why that wasn't the best way to put it now. So let's not dwell anymore. You did it, P2 Powers. You came face to face with an immortal, invulnerable Dragonkin hell-bent on destroying us all, and you returned the victor. Yes, and you and Thok defeated the villain single-handedly in glorious combat. We didn't fight him. I fought the dragon. Yes, you and Thok are mighty heroes. I wish Karapak hadn't forced the Elder God's hand. He fought so hard for freedom. To lose it like that after everything. Imagine what he could accomplish if he had just let that anger and hatred go. He could have done so much good for his people, and mine. He never really escaped the Elder God's curse. That anger and pain, it never left him, even with the stone destroyed. So, Thok has faced pain. Thok has faced loss. Doesn't mean Thok tries to destroy the world. Thok chooses instead to do what he can so that others do not need to suffer. Karapak could have chose the same path, but instead he chose to be a villain. And villains get what they deserve. Thok's fist straight to the nose. Yes, well, we'll take it from here, P2 Powers. Fool may have leveled this volcano, but we can make sure everyone on the island is alright. You should return to Saren and let her know the crisis is averted. Oh, P2 Powers, while we were fleeing, I found this. It must be a Dragonkin power supply, as it appears to be emitting a lot of energy. Thok keeps trying to touch it with his enormous hands, and I don't want to see it get damaged to the hands of that fool. Here, you take it. Karos hands you the strange device. It's an interesting device. It looks like something is missing, though. It may be worth investigating to see if you can find another piece. You did good, my friend. You did good. It's done. Karapak's lab is destroyed and he has been bound to Jazz once again. Let's see. I didn't want him bound. No, I would prefer that none would need to endure such a torment. But he chose to fight the Elder Gods, and such hubris has a price. Perhaps in time he will earn his freedom again. You have done this world a great service, P2 Powers. Once more you live up to the title that Guthix gave you. Let's see. Let's tell her about the Shadow Anima. About that title, did you know what Guthix did to me? What his World Guardian power is? I'm not sure what you mean. Guthix infused my soul with Shadow Anima, the substance that Karapak was using to fight the Elder Gods. They call it toxic, and they destroyed Orthan because of it. And he grafted it to my soul. I do not know what to say, P2 Powers. I have no idea what this will do to you, if anything, but you are not alone through this. You have many friends, P2 Powers. We will all stand by your side through this. Guthix, as always, you will have had a plan for you. Only time will tell what that plan is. But let's not dwell on this all now. Come, you have saved us all. Let us celebrate. I see you have found a cosmic focus. I believe it to be an ancient Dragonkin device that collects and emits cosmic energy. There should be a second piece to complete the item. I wonder if the final piece could be found on Anachronia, near where that one was discovered. I'll take a look. Thanks, Saren. That was intense. And by that, of course, I mean the story, like the ramifications, like where are we gonna go? Do we kill the Elder Gods? Is that where we go next? Alright, let's get our title back. And there it is. We are the ultimate quester yet again. So that was Desperate Measures. That was quite the journey and definitely quite the destination it brought us to. Having an Elder God loose on Gielinor and most likely pretty ticked off? Realistically, how are we supposed to deal with this? Of course the answer is the Elder God Wars dungeon, but I just hope it makes some sense lore-wise. But anyway, I'm not going to drag the ending on too long since the video was already long itself. Do let me know your thoughts on the quest in the comments below. Did you enjoy it? Where do you think we go from here? That sort of thing. I've been P2 Powers. I hope y'all have a great day. I'll see y'all later.